Sergia Louise. We're going to be doing an interview with Elena, also known as Lesupova, on Instagram for the Lupit Instagram Live today. While we're waiting for her to join, I just want to let you know that tomorrow my 4 days to impeccable pole pirouettes free challenge starts. So definitely check that out in the link in my bio. We're going to be going over hand grips, body positioning, variations, and leg styling for the pirouettes. And so you just go ahead and register in my bio to join the fun. Anyways, Lesupova is fantastic. She is a big proponent of the frame up style, and she's got quite where she's doing a lot of teaching of this style. So we're going to bring her on now. Very excited to chat to her. Hello, Elena, how are you?
Hi, hello. I just want to say that I sign up for your period 4 days. Unfortunately, I don't have pole right now, but I'm going to watch and repeat as soon as I will be next to the pole.
I'm so excited to have you. Yeah, it's a super nerdy. I felt like it was one of those things. It's like such an elusive transition, but you so much. So if you really dissect it, I just wanted to get nerdy with it.
No. I tried a few times. I'm kind of a baby in a pole dance, and I'm like, I saw it. It's easy. Damn God, I did it a few times. And then I watched the video, and I'm like, no, dude, you need to do it slow and understand what's happening. So it is really cool. I kind of want to say that I like to do everything slow, and it's one of my things when I'm teaching. Yeah. So yeah, I just want a few words. Thank you for nice description about me. It's really sweet that you check my page and you saw my background. Yes, I am the floorwork dancer and the frame up dancer. I'm the only one certified frame up dancer in the United States, by the way. Yeah, and when I moved here in America, I had like years of dancing in a team and as a solo dancer, and it was tough. We did a lot, like I sacrificed a lot of years just for art. Dancers doesn't do a lot of money on it, so it was pure love, and I really lived by this. I'm like, oh my God, I can't live without dance. And yes, my background is an engineer, so I graduated university, then I started working as an engineer, so I create some bridges, some tunnels on the railway. It was nice, but I kind of find out that people is not taking me seriously. I was blonde hair, and like this, like males, you're blondie. I'm like, yes, this is my project, dude. So one day I fed up, and I'm like, I don't want it. I want to dance. And when I began to be a member, Agni member team, I was Agni. This is the first team who kind of spread frame up style all around the world. So when I become an Agni member team, for 2 years, I basically sleep on the work because I trained during the night. Then I came back to the office. Thanks God they allowed me to go to the office. I slept on the table, and then I worked till the evening. And thanks God I had really cool colleagues who helped me. They covered me if I'm like sleeping and somebody coming in. They like stay and cover me like, no, she's not sleeping. And they kind of really was nice about my hobby. And when I left, they're like, okay, we believe you will be happy with your work. Yeah. So
you can absolutely see how much passion you have for dance. And it comes out in your dancing, Elena. It comes out in the information that you share. You've got so many wonderful breakdowns of moves that I just love. And for everyone who's coming on to this and saying, wow, what is frame up? Give them a little definition of this style.
Frame up, this is the pretty young dance style compared with like hip hop, even pole dance. This is style which created by my trainer, Nastya Urasova. This is kind of a floorwork type of dance, but we engage a lot of acrobatic style, a lot of musicality, and a lot of texture in the movements. While floor dance, it's more fluidy, yes, like flowy, flowy. Every time when you hear floor dance, you think, oh, okay, it's flowy, slowy. Frame up, it's more dynamic. Also, frame up has a lot of shapes. It doesn't mean to be really essential. It can be lyrics, it can be dramatics, it even can be experimental. Yes, when you're doing really crazy and weird shapes, not even looking like that this is sexy, this is weird, and this is the frame up. And I want to say that you don't need to do crazy tricks, not exactly, but some more dynamics, some not just like static movements. And a frame up, nowadays it has a lot of type, but I would say this is really like transforming of the floorwork dance. That's why I call my dance floorwork slash frame up, because floorwork more common and more recognizable. When I call it frame up, people like, frame up? What? So I'm like, okay, let me step back and let me show that this can be flowy and sexy and a little bit more different. Yeah, so that's why I kind of like in a slash calling it floorwork frame up dance.
Yes. I remember when I first saw that frame up style, I just loved it. I just said, this is the coolest thing. What it reminded me of was, like the old contemporary, really contemporary dance movement that I used to do when I was young, when I was a teenager, and bringing those elements and marrying them with some of the floor work that pole had brought to my life, and then loving the musicality. It has almost elements of just incredible elements of isolations,
Mm-hmm.
just very, very intimate isolations, and um, tons of musicality, which I just thought was awesome. So tell me, for you, how was your journey? How did frame up and this floor work connect to pole dancing for you as far as your story? Like, how did that come about?
When we start floor dancing, it was frame up style. It was really a part of the floor. Floor was like, sorry, pole dance. Pole dance and the floor work, it was really a part. Like some people going from pole dance to the floor work because they're like, it's a pole. I have like a lot of injuries. Let me go a little bit down, like chill a little bit on the floor. While we came from straight up floor dance, not even close to the pole. But then when I start dancing floor, I start, my friends who is a pole dancer, they start requesting and like, could you give us like create some piece of the choreo, because we know how to do cool stuff on the pole, but as soon as we're going down, it's like zero idea. I need to go from one pole to another pole. Like, what? So I'm like, okay, let's see. We start like giving some, and plus I start feeling, okay, I'm like, this is the pole. Okay, how I can go from here, this side to those side. When I moved here, first of my dance school where I taught, it was a Auckland pole dance in Auckland, and they gave me a pole. They're like, try a pole dance. I'm like, okay. I was so excited because I'm like, I've never tried the pole. So by my own, I start thinking, okay, how movements can be. And again, some of them was easy for me because I have some experience. I realized how muscles working, but some of them was totally, I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like when I first tried Superman, I've never forget this pain. I'm like, no, how are you doing it so easy? Then, when I moved to Palm Springs, I met my friend Marissa Mack, and she's a pole dancer. She's a professional athlete and professional pole dancer. So we start practicing and start doing duos. And she's like, let's try pole too, because first we try just floor work, and then we start doing pole. And I'm like, okay. She explained me a lot. She shared a lot of information, and I'm like, I like it. This is new dimension for me, because before it's just a floor, and this, like, oh my God, it's so much. It's like a new world for me. Obviously, it's hard. It's not easy. People who's like pole dance, I'm like, you haven't tried yet, if you tell like this, go try something simple. Yeah, and yes, so then we create a duo course. We're doing some like interesting combinations, and it's based on me as a floor dancer, and she's a pole dancer, so we kind of connect our experience. And of course, I done some movements too, because she's like, we need to do it with pole. It is a pole. So I'm like, yeah, of course. And it is really an interesting and unique experience. Like from the grip, how you like how people is not falling down, because I'm basically can't hold my hands not how to say, not sweaty. I'm like, it's hard till the moment. So yeah, and that's why I'm like, every time when I have pole, I try to do something all around it. Not so crazy yet. I'm in a way.
I love I about that. I just love hearing that you came from that, you know, that kind of solo dance style, that style, and then you came to pole and then started to realize all the different things that you could put pole and use to go up and down, help create shapes that you're already making. And I also really have to say that I really love duet stuff that you and Mariska do. It's really
Thank you so much. Our idea was when we create the course, our idea was that we see some duos, but first of all, not a lot. And second, for me, duo, when I start creating duo on Floorwork, it was some connections. It's not just parallel dancing. Yes, it's not just dancing all around pole when you're not connected. Every time it should be something when you're creating shapes, something when you're helping to do some tricks, not exactly crazy tricks. And this was the purpose of our course, like, let's try to bring it so people start learning and can like use it in any of their showcases, any practice. Sometimes you can find like, oh, I haven't done it without person because I'm scared, but with somebody, this trick's easier, but it's, you can do it alone or with somebody else. So it's really cool. And I want to say the big difference I find out for me, the shoulder stand, when you're doing it without pole and with pole, again, it's new dimension for me. I'm like, with a pole, I'm more like experience, easy. Just when I grab pole, nothing, not a big change. Yes, instead of floor, I'm rubbing the pole, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can handle it. It's another work of your muscles. It's really different way, but still, the background, the Floorwork background helped me a lot again, because I knew how movements work. Yes, how like my muscles work, and what should I engage and what should I avoid to do. So yeah.
so if okay, so let's do this. I know many people are probably really curious about this, but when it comes to the frame up style and that Floorwork style and how important shapes are to the kind of choreography and the kind of that you're doing, what would you say are maybe two big tips for this kind of movement that maybe someone who comes into that frame up style, say they have just a pole background, but they don't have, you know, a lot of experience with this kind of choreography. What are two big tips that you feel like you share a lot in your classes to kind of realign people in that style?
I have workshops, live workshops, and my soonest will be almost in a month in San Diego. So everybody who wanna came, I'll be happy to see you. And I see really often, I see who is from pole dance and who is not. It's like really different way of moving. And my biggest advice for everybody, do everything slow first of all, like mega slow. I know that especially when you think I have a background, like I'm with periods. Yes, I have the same. I'm like, I have background, I can do it easy. And just when I start doing, I'm like, this is my biggest mistake. First of all, it has, it's exactly what I'm doing every time when I'm teaching live, online classes. All movements should be break down slowly, like mega slow. You basically realizing how you're spreading your body weight from the tip of your fingers till your heel, you know, like how is going on. Then to start looking at you if you see like yourself in the mirror or in the camera, and creating the beautiful lines, like clean it. We're all different, we have different backgrounds, our body different. Somebody have long legs, short torso, somebody have long torso and short legs. It's me. So what I'm doing, I am adjusting some position to look elegant, to look nicer for myself, that, oh, I like this. I don't like when my leg straight up. I like when it's a little bit too diagonal, so I can see these long shapes. So I advise everybody, adjust movements for your body, how you like it, because we're all so big and so different, and we have our opinions. Yes, somebody can say, oh my God, you have short leg. And I'm like, and what? Yes, but I'm working to create some lines which I like. So third advice, don't think what another people, don't listen to other people. Most of time on the class, I creating a supportive community. So we just support each other. We not compete. This is not the way we have to showcase, look at me, I'm bigger than you. No, we kind of support each other, but don't listen, especially negative review about what you're doing. They don't understand it. Just like whatever you're doing and enjoy the process. Yeah, so especially tricks I'm usually breaking down from baby steps, step by step, to the harder way. Otherwise, if I just saw recently somebody taught a floor beginners, and the first movement basically was drop on the knee. And I'm like,
no.
My heart stopped, because we need this knee for life, for future. Not baby, not beginners. This is advanced when you properly realize how to spread your body weight. And this is the big problem. Beginners wanna like, oh, I'll show it, I'll wanna be big, let me do big movements. This is really bad. I came from years of basically injuring my bodies, because we didn't have proper relaxation. We didn't know how to recover. We basically spent nights, yes, nights when you're supposed to recover. We spend nights at dance hall for repetitions, and as a result, I have a lot of injury. Like, my knee is a weather barometer. My lower back, if I do a little bit more than I usually do hours of dance, I feel my lower back. My shoulders, like, even if I do a lot of shoulder steps, I still can have bruises. But now I know my body, and I'm like, oh, this is the signal. I have to stop. I have to do exercise which bring me back to normal life. I'm not dancing, like, no. But back then it was the problem, and we were young. And oh my God, this is needed. Knee pads for floor work. Yes. People like, I can do it without knee pads. I'm like, how many years?
Yeah. How many years can you?
Yeah, because when you're young, yes, maybe your knees will handle it. When you're getting older and older, you feel them, and you're like, why? So now nowadays, every time when people came to my class, I'm like, if you don't have knee pads, we're not doing anything. I'm like, bye. Because without knee pads, I don't want to injure your knees, and we will. Now, knees not created for crawl on it, yes? It's created for walking and moving differently. So I would say, even if you pole dancer, and if you recognize some movements, just start from the basic movements. Easy, maybe you'll do it once, and you, okay, I feel it, I understand, let's go to the next level. But don't skip the level 1 or 0. So don't skip the level by level. When you like easy, level 2 easy, level 3, okay, now I can feel it, it's challenge. So better to just grow, even if you have experience. Like me again, I'm like, this is really period. I'm like, oh no, I need a little bit more time for it. And of course, practice. I would say smart practice, because some people like, more you dancing is better. More you dancing without thoughts, how you dancing, not really. More effective when you're thinking what you're doing. Yes, when you realize, I engage this muscle, I engage those muscles. And better to relax and recover than push yourself and like, do again, do again, do again. Do what? The same mistake? Injure yourself more? Just try to realize what mistakes you did. How can you, even not mistakes, just something different, how you can clean it or change it and do it. Yeah. a lot of advice. Do it slow, do it with meals, with proper protection, and every time remember about recovery time.
Yes. Oh my gosh, these are just such gems, and you speak so. This is just great. Everyone should listen to what you just said, that last little rant, over and over and over again. I wanted to point out some amazing things that I heard you say. And one was about how individual it is to start to begin to understand what you like. I always say to my students, when you start to form an opinion about what you love and what you don't love, like, that's when I know that you've reached an intermediate, because all of a sudden you're saying, oh, okay, well, I actually have an opinion about that. I like the way that shape looks, and I'm not really into doing it this way or that way, or I like this style. That's when I'm like, okay, you're coming into your uniqueness as a dancer now, and that's a really important step. So finding those opinions and following that path, as you said, you don't need to listen to the people saying, oh, this or that. Just follow the path, follow your passion, follow what looks good to you, what you enjoy. And that also then brings me to another great point that you made, which I thought is just, I was like writing all these things down as you were speaking, because there's so many good things. Also, the importance of angles. Angles are everything.
Exactly.
So when you're with a student and you're saying, okay, well, I want, videotape this, so you can go look at it, and they say, well, I don't really want to watch myself. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is not about you. This is about going home and studying your angles.
Exactly, yes.
Like look past whatever hangups you have about watching yourself and watch the movement, watch the angles. See if you can become, objective about that. We're not looking at, oh my gosh, I look so terrible in those pants. No, look at your angles and how you can play with these shapes so that you can work, as you said, smarter, not harder. Because if you know where your audience is and you hit the angles exactly the way you want to hit the angles, with the opinion that you have and how well the angles look at which angle, now we're really talking about artistry. And so I just loved those points. Also, the other point that you made that I just loved was, really allow yourself to fall in love with going back to the beginning, or starting at the beginning on a style that is new to you, and even a style that's maybe not new to you, but with a different instructor or a different choreography. Really go back to you're there so that, not that you can you're not you don't want someone to give you a fish. You want them to teach you how to fish. You want to learn how to fish. You don't want to get today's fish. You want to eat every day.
Exactly.
So you're trying to go to class to get all of those tools and all of that. Maybe it doesn't happen for you today in that class. Maybe things are just not going for you today in that class, but you're walking away with all these new tools of what you want to play with and what you like and don't like. You can go to classes and say, that's really interesting. I'm glad I took that class. I didn't really love this, but I loved that. I'm just going to take that little piece and add it to kind of my repertoire. But how would you know without trying on these different things and these different styles? And the other thing I love that you said was that when you're working progressively and not skipping any steps, because you said, oh, beginners just want to go straight to the top. I'll tell you something, that'll catch up to you. You'll get to a point where you have to go back to get a bunch of stuff that you missed. So why not take the time to really understand it every step that you're taking? So much good advice. I hope everyone takes that to heart. And yes, tell us where we can train with you. You said you're going to San Diego. Do you have online classes? Tell us all the things.
Yeah, I'm going to San Diego. Right now, I'm hardly working on basic floorwork movements course. The whole course level 0 for people who never dance, kind of start from the zero run, how your head working, how your shoulders can move, and etc., to the next levels when it's already like level up. In my world, I usually thought it's like 3 levels. Sorry, beginners, intermediate, advanced. But now I realize that some people is beginners, who is 0. Like, I just came to this dance. What? And people doing shoulder stand already. Second levels in the beginners, it's when they already knew the base, but they still catching slowly the choreo. They still like don't see the details and like just the main piece, 4 movements, but I know how to do it. And then advance, when you already knew the base, then you already see details and you like listen musicality pretty well. Musicality for me, it's a big thing. So I usually start teaching musicality from 0 level, because it's musicality the same like movements. As soon as you start learning about it, it's better you start listening to music. Yeah, because oh my, it's like the whole my interpretation. Musicality basically, it's how you translate the music. Yes, like you can use different layer in the music, different voice sounds and etc., but it still needs to train your ear to listen to this, because in the normal life, what we're listening song, we hear beats, we hear voice, and we're like, yeah, nice. But then you came to the class and the teacher like, did you hear zin 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 in the background? You're like, what? What? I've heard this song 100 times. What zin zin are you talking about? So I started teaching like, let's listen this song multiple times till the point which everybody, oh, I hear it, I hear it. I'm like, now let's train our brain and our body to switch from one layer to zin zin and back.
Yeah.
And it's hard. For brain, it's easy. 1, 2, like we're walking. Yes, we never walk 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. It's not normal for us. But when we're dancing, we need to train this different speed, different musical. So I am right now creating the course 0, 0, beginners, middle, and intermediate. When step by step, I'm going to explain everything. I'm soon start talking about it. It's need a little bit of time. And I'm like by my own. I don't have a big crew, so I'm doing everything by my own. I'm teaching San Diego in a month. In a few months, I'm probably, I hope everything will be okay, I'll go to LA with a live workshop. Yes, and also I'm planning to do a few online workshops where I'm going to teach the choreography, the tricks, dance tricks, and I'm really thankful to online. I don't know, for me it's kind of, it was big since I moved to the United States, but after COVID, I think it's kind of pop up. And yeah, I realized that you can do a lot of stuff online, and yes, it's good to be have a trainer next to you, especially Paul. I understand that it's like some crazy tricks you need to be supported, but it's still possible to do it without support and online. I like thankful online that it's so much information which we can get and learn in a distance. And I have students all over the world. I have like students from Australia, from Europe, from Canada. So it's kind of like all around from United States. And I'm thankful that online classes is available, and it's like you can be live. Or you can, like I am planning with your class, just have a recording and practice as soon as I will have time for it. Yeah, so in my pleasant time, in my pleasant place, not like being connected. Dance studio is nice too. I want to say, like, when I'm teaching live classes, oh my God, I like this energy. This is magic for me happening. I'm like, have goosebumps. People, when you share energy with people and they're giving you back, it's amazing. But online is still the same cool stuff when you in your, I know some people are a little bit shy, like, oh my God. This is one more advice, especially for beginners. Beginners, you don't need to be flexible, strong, do crazy tricks or splits for start dancing. You just need to love it, or at least like how it looks, and you learn how to do it. When I came to floor work, frame up dance, I didn't have any splits. My splits even now, like not mega perfect and in the minus, but I can work all around my ability of my body. We all, like, even in the past, when we have injuries, like I broke my hands twice when I was a kid. And I believe that it has some impact on my movements. Maybe not so obvious, slightly. So we're all different and we all have different background, different injuries. Usually if it's something hard, because people are receiving, oh, Lena, I have my hip injury. Can I attend your class? And I'm like, dear, I am not a doctor. I don't know for sure, because I don't want to say, yes, you can, and you will have more health problems. Yeah, I wanted you to be safe. I wanted you to enjoy the dance. Yes, and not look at it like, oh, it was hard, it was painful, I don't want to come back. So better, what I usually, when people have some injury, you can ask the doctor, can I do this movements or not? Or if you don't want to go to the doctor, at least start doing something really simple and see how your body react on it. Because sometimes you kind of like, doctor, they're all time telling me I shouldn't do anything, and like, because I'm injured, this is true. So it's not yet, maybe a little bit later. So better to, with injuries, every time listen to your body. Body is really cool. We naturally likes to use this voice, like, oh, it's clicking a little. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, oh, it's clicking a little bit. Probably it's nothing wrong. No, if it's clicking a little bit, try to figure out where it came from, what happened with you before. Maybe it's from the past, and try to work all around it or avoid even this part. And yeah, so my advice, just please, if you're injured, listen to your body. If it's something bad injured, ask to your doctor, can you go or not? Can you do this type of dance or not? Yeah, so I'm teaching online personal classes. I have a fabulous results. One, like, I have few girls who came from me literally from the zero ground, and now some of them teaching classes, some of them flying to a lot of workshops all around Europe. One girl recently, pole dancer, she did a cool idea, like a cyber girl. So we create the whole first part for her, and she took first and second place in her competition in Australia. So I'm teaching personal classes and online classes too, or everything on my page. And if you want to really receive your information first, leave me your email. Just DM me your email and say, like, I want everything. So I'm going to send.
Yes, well, wonderful. I really looking forward to these courses you're putting together, because I feel like during the pandemic, watching some of the frame up style come into what I was starting to notice frame up style, I was like, I would love to train in that. So yes, so I will definitely be checking out your course when you get it up and live, and good luck with that. I know what it's like being an entrepreneur and a one-woman show and trying to get things like that together and courses and put them out into the world. So we're rooting for you, and we cannot wait for that. So please make sure that you everyone follow Elena over at her Instagram so that you know when that drops, because you're going to want to hop into those courses.
Oh, thank you so much. And I promise that I'm going to do more pole dance too, including periods. Because I love it. It's really, unfortunately, I have like a small room at my home, and I'm living in Palm Springs. This is a city not far away from LA or San Diego, like 2 hours drive, but we don't have pole dance studio here.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, this is really odd for me, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is more like a nice getaway city, and we have some like dance studio where they're dancing salsa, bachata, but no pole dance. And I'm like, where can I find the pole?
Well, we'll get together. I'll help you with pole, and you can help me with frame up. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
fine. Awesome. Well, thank you, Elena, so much for joining us. Have a beautiful week, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much. I was so nervous, but actually, I just really, it was sweet to talk like with a friend. To share everything, but I think it's really nice and really easy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was really nice and sweet. Thanks. Oh, wow, what I had. Oh,
All right, everyone. Fantastic week. Mwah! Bye.
thank you so much. You too. Bye bye.